It's called Pam and Jeff. Sexton Winery is our third stop on an impromptu wine tasting trip. We're about halfway through ordering when a woman in her 40s turns to us and starts conversation. She's nice, excited, chatty. Her husband is a few years older, but he's in incredible shape. Not drinking wine, but from a water bottle that has an undisclosed liquid in it. It's the kind of water bottle you keep on the underside of your bicycle, in case you get thirsty during your 50-mile warm-up ride to GNC. He's incredibly still, unblinking, and says nothing. I assume they're mostly retired. They seem like they have money, or are crazy, because it's obvious they do this all the time, and why would you do this all the time? Pam finds out Amanda and I are stocking wine for our upcoming wedding, gushes, and offers to buy us a bottle. But Jeff nudges her with his elbow, enough to make her sway. She glares at him, but he doesn't notice, because he's staring at me over his yellow water bottle, and I haven't said a word, I don't know why he's looking at me, and I'm very afraid of him. Pam motors on. Oh wait, tell me you've been to this other winery. Oh, you have to go. The owner is a friend of ours. They have the best rosé. Sorry, Becky, it's true. Becky is the completely indifferent wine server who is standing close enough to be confused, but too far away to respond. Pam pulls her glass closer to ours, and now, suddenly, it's the four of us. While talking about God knows what, Pam waves her wine in a grand gesture and spills a ribbon of wine on her dress, but her dress is red and purple flower print, and so she waves it off. She's having too much fun to care. Jeff just stares at us with his unblinking intensity, and even though he's just drinking whatever it is in his yellow water bottle and glaring at me, he's clearly putting a lot of effort into it. He's doing it the best he possibly can. Maybe he's training for the yellow water bottle Olympics. If he is, he's going to win. Amanda and I catch each other's wide eyes, and I decide that Jeff is a murderer. Maybe a robot, but definitely a murderer. Murderbot, whatever. Things get hazy here. Maybe it's the wine, or maybe we've been poisoned, but somewhere between Pam saying Amanda reminded her of their daughter while slowly reaching for Amanda's face, and while I scan the room for weapons and exits, we agree to follow them to another winery. All of a sudden I hear us saying, "Sure, that sounds great. We'll meet you there." And Pam is marching us all out into the parking lot, single file. I feel dizzy. She talks about wineries and discounts on their dog we need to go pick up right now, right now, right now. Pam says the dog won't forgive them if we go without them. She turns to Jeff for confirmation, and Jeff lets another opportunity to speak sail right on by. Pam and Jeff load into their Mercedes, and Amanda and I pull the doors shut on our not Mercedes, and the spell is broken instantly. What just happened in there? I don't know. Do you think they're going to murder us? Of course they do. We're going to get fed to their goddamn dog. As they drive past us, Pam is beaming and waving from the passenger side window. Jeff has activated his driving program and is focused on the road. I assume any conversation they're having is about how best to liquefy our corpses after the dog is full. We don't do things like this. I panic around strangers. Amanda's better, but I drag her down. Most of our ride is spent trying to figure if something is actually creepy is happening, because why would you invite strangers to go somewhere with you? Why would you want to see new people more? It's a 10-minute drive, and we pass the time by trying to guess how we'll be murdered. Do you think they'll keep our heads as trophies, or does the dog get everything? It seems like the dog is in charge. I think that's his call. Pam and Jeff don't invite us into their home. They just go inside to get their dog Rambo. It's spelled R-A-M-B-E-A-U, Pam corrects, and winks at Amanda for some reason. Jeff finally talks. He's a financial advisor on a cleanse, which explains the stiff movements and the mystery liquid, but maybe not the staring. She doesn't mention what she does for a living. She talks about the winery, their friend the owner, and about never wanting a small dog, but falling in love with R-A-M-B-A-U, who stops on cue to shit in the crosswalk of a busy intersection. Pam panics and yells for Jeff, who sprints to solve the problem. They apologize to traffic, are nice to their dog, and giggle while they clean everything up. They catch up to us while I'm typing snarky tweets about the experience into my phone. We wine taste with them at their friend's winery. It's a bright, tropical-themed room with a noisy fish tank. Jeff explains his stance on personal finance. I get nervous giving far too much information about my finances, but I'm relieved when he says that I'm on the right track and doesn't break my arms and legs. What's your email address? I'll send you a copy of my book, he says. And I give it to him for some reason. Good, great, he says. And I realize I've given this murder bot enough information to hunt me for sport, but it's seeming more and more likely he'll just teach me stuff about numbers. There's a small boutique attached to the winery. It's full of flowery sundresses. Pam is holding one up by the straps, and I decide that if she holds it up to Amanda and asks Jeff, "Wouldn't this look nice on Amanda?" I will shove Jeff into a rack of Hawaiian shirts and run out the building with Amanda over my shoulder because I refuse to be hypno-sexed by these strangers and their dog. But she doesn't. She just says that it's pretty. She really seems like she's having a nice afternoon. Jeff, too. Amanda grabs my hand and does the thing she does when she wants to silently let me know that she's ready to leave before she's murdered by strangers. But Pam is telling a story. Last year, Pam went on a development seminar where the final task was to be let out of a van in the Canadian wilderness with nothing but a length of rope. She didn't explain why she did this, or why the Canadian wilderness, or why the rope. The whole thing was baffling, but it was cold, it was dark, and she was all alone. She smuggled her cell phone to call Jeff. She didn't She didn't call even though she wanted to, but held it all night like a charm, just to know he was close. She survived the night and came through it a better person. Jeff nods along and says he's proud of her for not calling, pausing only briefly to drink cleanse juice from his sports bottle. He never takes his eyes off her while she tells the story. When she's done, Jeff squeezes her shoulder hard and doesn't let go. I'm holding Amanda's hand. They're both a little choked up, and Amanda and I are a little embarrassed because it turns out they're the nicest people on earth and we're suspicious cowards. After we leave, the four of us are walking quietly back to our cars when Pam stops us to look up at a tree she loves. It's 50 feet tall, tangled in vines of purple flowers, and is home to what sounds like 100 birds. The lady who lives here says that all these flowers just climbed up the tree one year. Isn't it beautiful, she says. The birds really seem to love it too, all crammed in there together like that. Nobody says anything for a minute, and we all just look up into the tree, and it really is beautiful.